Hey girl, hey. All right, so this is Dr. Tasha, and I am back with Podcast Thursday, but kind of not Podcast Thursday, but Podcast Thursday because in the last video I did, and we talked about all the things in the last video, oral sex and BV. If you haven't watched it, run it back, go back, watch it because it was good, okay? We dropped some pearls in that video, but one of the questions that I got was, well, how do you tell if your partner is clean? And I thought it was a reasonable question. I thought it was a logical question, and I liked it. And I was like, well, let's talk about that. But girls, we're not just gonna talk about it with respect to the boys. We're gonna talk about it with y'all too. Like everything I say, this is a unisex conversation, and I'm not coming at anybody. And none of these statements are like etched in stone. You get what I'm saying? There is room for variability in everything that I'm saying. And please know and understand, a hit dog will holler. So please don't, come for me in the comments, because not today. And what I did is I made all of the things that I'm going to discuss more medical / social, not my opinion. So, and again, anybody is free to disagree with anything, because girl, you can. It's cool. But you asked me the question. So let's talk about it. How do you know if your partner is clean? Well, when we first get into this, girls, first of all, let's define what clean means. And clean is going to mean something different to every person, because everybody's going to have their level of tolerances. So before you can judge how clean somebody is, you have to look at your own barometer. And so if you're not that clean, then obviously your level of expectation is going to be a little bit lower than somebody else's, right? So this is all very subjective, and what I consider clean and what she considers clean and what they consider clean, it's all going to be different. So while I can give you some kind of like blueprint stuff to go off of, it's all, girl, it's all on you. You might be okay with a little stank. Well, a little, might add a little seasoning for you. I don't know. But let's talk about it. So when we define clean, I like to break it up and say we have physical, we have dental, and then we have like environmental. And we'll talk about what the environmental is. When we talk about physical clean, don't just look at somebody and be like, oh, they look like they're clean. You have to kind of not investigate, but pay attention. Like, is that person bathing? Like, okay, some people will bathe at night and not bathe in the morning. If that's your jam, that's your jam. It's hot. We sweat when we sleep. So pay attention to that. If somebody's sweating like a stuck pig at night when y'all sleep, and then they wake up and just put their clothes on in the morning, sir, you ain't feel that? You ain't feel those wet sheets, that wet blanket? You didn't feel that? That's a thing. If somebody will come in from work and sit on the furniture with their outside clothes, they will sit at your dinner table with their outside clothing on. They will get in the bed and go to sleep without bathing at night. Those are signs that that person does not have clean habits, right? So you have to look at their physical cleanliness. Do they have a physical odor? And not just, oh, you smell sweaty. Like, do they just emanate odor? Like, is it coming out of their pores, honey? Do they smell bad? I mean, that is your telltale sign. How do they smell? Not what cologne they wear, but how do they actually smell? Do they smell sour and sweaty all the time? If you kiss them, is their neck salty? Like, because that's sweat. Like, how physically do they smell? Do you see them cleaning themselves? If you've been with somebody and you stayed the night or they stayed the night and you haven't seen them brush their teeth, that is problematic. I'm not saying you got to be all up on somebody's back, but if you share a sink or you have dual sinks or you're in the bathroom together, when they brush their teeth, is there blood? That's a sign of periodontitis or gum disease. Just, things like that. Do they have bad breath? It's like no matter how much they brush, the breath is just bad. That means there's a bad tooth in their head somewhere, or there's an infection or something like that. So pay attention to those things. As far as their clothing is concerned, not the kind of clothing, not how stylish it is. Is it clean? Have you seen them wash it? Have you seen them do laundry? Does it seem like they wear the same pants all the time? Now, when it goes for jeans, if people go for jeans, 9 times out of 10, and they actually say you're not supposed to wash your jeans every time you wear them. You're not. But if you got a stain on them, if you peed on them, if you pooped in them, if you spilled something, you should probably want to wash those. You should probably not want to wear those again. So do they have soiled clothing? Is their clothing torn? Because again, it doesn't have to be new, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it should be tidy. Somebody who is particular about themselves and clean about themselves, girl, they're not gonna wear holey clothes, they're not gonna wear holey underwear. Pay attention to that. Are their underwear, are they supposed to be white, but they're dingy? Are they faded? And not, it's okay, after you wash a pair of orange boxer briefs or something like that, that they're not as orange as they used to be. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, are they white, supposed to be white, no longer white? They have gone past dingy. They're kind of like cream beige, because boxers don't cost that much. They got them at TJ Maxx, they got them at Ross, they got them at Walmart. Okay, they don't cost that much. So to have on, is the rubbers popping out of the waist? Just things like that shows how much they care about themselves. And if it's your responsibility, if you're in a relationship, girl, get that man some new boxes. Go throw them away. Go get him a pack of 6 or a pack of 8 or whatever it is. But those things tell how particular somebody is about themselves. When there's a man who is particular about his hygiene, and you as a woman as well, if you have panties that have holes, if you have panties that have stains. I personally don't believe in period panties, because I'm like, why are you wearing panties that are still soiled? Because if you use the Clean and Cute panty wash, that wouldn't be the thing. But nevertheless, why are you wearing panties that are still soiled? I get that you spilled on them and you don't want to spill on them again. Yet again, $5, and they're soiled. What are we really doing here? Do you have holes in your underwear? They notice, trust me. Do you got rubber sticking out over the place? Do you got bleach stains on your panties? Girl, don't do that. So those things, as a woman, because you got veneers, or even a man, y'all got veneers, go to the dentist. Go to the dentist, scrape your tongue. You should not have bad breath. And don't always try to camouflage this breath with gum. Gum is not a bad idea. Gum is not, you in your car, you got to meet up with something. Gum is not a bad idea, but it is not a treatment. Go to the dentist. Why do you have bad breath, aka halitosis? Something is going on. Get that infection in your head treated, because something is happening. Do you have chronic sinusitis that's causing you to have bad breath? Bad breath can actually lead you to knowing or suspecting of medical problems. So it's important. Females, physically, are y'all showering? Are y'all bathing? I know somebody was like, oh, don't take a bath. I don't know who told y'all that. Don't put no stuff in your bath water, but it's okay to sit your behind in some water every now and again. Okay. That's not a problem. Shower daily, shower twice a day. These whole baths, if you don't know what a whole bath is, it is standing up at the vanity and soaping your wash rag and washing up, and then wiping the soap off without getting in any water. Now barring somebody's situation, condition, whatever they have going on, if it's something that, it is not avoidable, then I'd rather you have a whole bath than do nothing. But if that's what you do every day, and you got built up dirt on your legs and on your arms and the back of your neck because all you're doing is taking a whole bath, no ma'am. And then you jump out there with the flyest clothes on, you're dirty. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not being offensive. What I am being is honest. Okay? Because we smell you too. We smell you. Hair is a big thing as well. Is he shampooing his hair? They ain't got no hair. They ain't got none. So what's the problem putting your head up under that shower, throwing some shampoo on there, throwing a little conditioner on there? Why does your hair stink? Why does it smell like dirty sheets? Ladies, I get it. One thing I hate is to walk past somebody in a store. Yes, we can smell it when your hair smells like burnt, old, dried up flat irons. Okay? You got more spritz, ISO plus, and all that on there. We smell it. Okay? Them curls, them tendrils that you done put down, and you swear they laying, they smell bad. Okay? Let's not do that. You know, they got dry shampoo out. They have hair perfume out. I get if you're somebody who doesn't do your own hair. I'm not good at doing my own hair. That's why I just wear my ponytail, honey, because having to go to the salon and do this and sit here for this and dealing with the appointments, and you can't be more than 3.5 minutes late or they take your deposit. You can't say more than 3 words, you know, or you giving bad vibes. I ain't got time. Give me a ponytail, give me a bust down, slick down, and I'm good. Okay, because the face card is not going to decline. I'm good. So I get it if you're somebody who you can't go to the hair salon every now and again. Your hair don't have to be fly, girl. What it has to be is clean. It has to be clean. If your hair is too short for a ponytail, child, put some gel on that thing and just let it be. Okay? But make sure it's clean, because it says a lot. A man would prefer to have a woman who's fresh and clean, and a woman, you know how we are, we prefer to have a man that just smells good. He ain't even got to smell. Smelling like Irish Spring is that thing. He ain't even got to smell like anything fabulous. He ain't got to have on no Blue de Chanel. But when a man walks past you, you like, oh, who is that? Who pray tell is that? Who that man, Harpo? And the same when a woman has an intoxicating smell, a man will turn and look. And it's not about perfuming. It's just cleanliness. It goes far. Okay. Now, what to look for? So like I said, your gauge of cleanliness, that's on you. Because you can't be wanting somebody who clean level 10 and you clean level 3. Because he going to be like, girl, no. Okay. Now, what to look for? Hygiene habits, brushing. Again, like we said, is he brushing? What does he do with his skin? Like, is he always ashy? Why is he ashy? Why is he gray? Even if he has eczema, like, why aren't you using, first of all, if you got eczema, you should be using the Clean and Cute body wash. No, the eczema bar. You should be using that, bro and sis. But if you're not, are you using moisturizers? Are you using, some people just use straight castor oil on their skin. That's fine. Lotion, castor oil, baby oil. Are we moisturizing, or are we just straight ashy and neglecting our skin? I don't necessarily know that that says a whole lot about them being not clean. What it says is that they don't take pride in themselves. And that's one thing. If they don't take pride in one area, you kind of have to look at, are you taking pride in other areas? And so just like the linen, the linen is another big thing. Okay. Let me get back to this, the bathing and the skin thing right quick, because yes, again, we talked about getting in some water, getting underwater, staying in the water long enough to let it hit you. Okay. And feet. I'm angry at anybody who feels like the only time, and I said angry, the only time that you need to be doing foot care is when you soak your feet in them foot thing at the pedicure place. Because why? First of all, as a male, yes, you should be getting a pedicure. I ain't saying you got to get the clear gel overlay. I ain't saying all that. But go get your toenails clean, get your feet soaked, get the skin, the hard skin scraped up off, get the calluses, get all that taken care of, okay? And for females as well, y'all will skip the pedicure to get the polish if you're short on money. Skip the damn polish and get the pedicure. How about that? Because what we want to make sure is let's get all this dead skin off. Let's clear it all off. Let's get them. When you go, add the callus remover too. Y'all got them people up in there sweating and scraping, going to work on Myra because y'all don't want to pay the $5 extra for the callus remover. You know you got it. It's just ignorant. But anyway, you know, just make sure you're doing it. Don't be so fixated with what your nail polish look like. Be more fixated with what your feet look like, because y'all toes, y'all be having the acrylic with the Gel X extensions with the French. It looked like it costs a lot. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But the back of your foot is corroded and hard, and look like you could really grate some lemon zest. Like, no. Okay, 'cause again, that's not an aesthetic thing. That's a hygiene thing. That is a hygiene thing. First, when you went down to put lotion, you ain't see that hard skin? First of all, from Amazon, y'all can get some callus remover. Put some little gloves on, get some callus remover in between your pedicure appointments, and get a pumice stone. Callus remover, pumice stone, baby, you can go to work on them feet. Go to work on those feet and keep them moisturized. Sleep in socks. Put lotion on, put some socks on, keep your feet nice and soft in between pedicure appointments. Because, oh, I get my pedicures. No, do you take care of your feet? Are you moisturizing your feet? Are your toenails black? Because that says we got a little fungus going on there. Y'all know we can get that treated, right? Y'all know that there are pills and cream that will treat that condition of toe fungus or toenail fungus, right? Just letting y'all know. You don't have to live like that, because that says something as well. For males, we want to make sure we're not suffering with athlete's feet. So get that taken care of. If you see black toes and, you know, dry skin and it's always moist in between your toes, no sir, no sir. You need to go talk to somebody about that. Go get that looked at. And they ain't at the urgent care. You got to book an appointment, okay? And go get yourself seen about, male and female. Now, one of the biggest things, and it's so funny because you will hear guys, women don't clown men about this a lot, but men definitely clown women about this. Their home. Your home says so much about you. And I'm going to tell you, when I walk into somebody's home, how it smells determine where where I sit. You want something to drink? No, I'm good. Girl, I ain't even thirsty. I'm full. You want something? I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. Okay. Y'all stop boiling that Fabuloso. We done had a couple of videos about that. It is not okay. Okay. But you know, at the end of the day, you can't boil over poor cleaning. We can still smell it. When your house is clean, there's a fresh smell. There's like an underlying fresh smell. Under all the Bath and Body Work plug-ups, the Fabuloso, you ain't got to do all that if you clean up, if you mop those floors, you get at those baseboards. You don't have dirty clothes in your house. You don't have dirty dishes in your house. You don't have trash that needs to be taken out. All of these things are very, very, very important. Like if you don't have a dishwasher, then, which, you know, a lot of us do in this day and age, our homes, our apartments, we mostly have dishwashers. Older people don't really like to mess with their dishwashers, and that's cool, but don't have a sink full of dirty dishes because it stinks. And it's aesthetically poor to look at, and it just says a lot about you, because why they dirty? Like, I don't understand why they dirty. So, and I have a weird thing. Like, I love to load my dishwasher. I hate to unload my dishwasher. Please don't ask me why. I don't know why I hate to unload my dishwasher, but I do. So like after I make dinner, I just be standing here looking like, ugh, because I got to unload my dishwasher so I can reload my dishwasher. But I don't go to sleep with a dirty kitchen or with dirty dishes in my sink because I'm grown. So dishes are a big thing. And even if you have a male that is particular about himself, his home may not be all potpourri and candles burning, and because, you know, that's a whole nother direction, but potpourri and candles burning and this, that, and the third thing. And it may, because that's cool too, but it's going to be clean. The trash is going to be out. Stuff is going to be in place. It is going to be clean. So dishes are a big one. Also a refrigerator. Please clean your refrigerators. Like, because if somebody's like, oh, go in there and get some juice off and everything is spilled and stuff is stuck to the, I'm good. I don't even want nothing out your fridge. Because something is growing in here. Something is growing. Something is fungating up in there. I don't want it. And, you know, again, your level of fly, your level of cute, your level of sexy is diminished if that's how you're living. We ain't gonna even talk about bugs. Like, I don't even think I need to address roaches and water bugs and any of the things. I don't want to talk about it, because if that's a problem, then come on now, because we got raid. And then if you got those, like, you know, roaches that been around for a while, those like geriatric those roaches that them steel clad roaches, then set a bomb off in the house or something. Or they got like you know, exterminator people who will come out. They don't cost that much. They don't cost that much. You pay $200 for them lashes. You pay $200. You pay $150 to have that lace laid. Okay, give them people, I don't know how much it costs, but give them people enough money to go head on and you know, come and exterminate and get them bugs up off you, because don't nobody want to live like that. Okay, you don't even want to live like that. So make sure that's a thing. Also, like I said, smells and aromas. Stop covering stuff up and clean. All right, it's okay. Spray anything upholstery you have, spray that thing down. Like, spray it down, not with fragrance stuff, spray it down with Lysol. Kill some germs. You know, if you have pillow covers that come off of your sofa and things like that, take it off, wash them, put them back on. People, you know, people a little bit on the, you know, interest inside when they come to visit sometimes with their body odors. Y'all be talking about these BBL booties and all that. I don't know. And I'm not about to comment on it, but what I am going to say is make sure your sofas are smelling okay. Now, if you want your house to smell good, don't be scared to use the Clean and Cute, the spray. All this can be found on cleanandcute.shop, by the way. But nevertheless, if you're going to do room fragrances, try and do more natural room fragrances. And just clean. It's nothing wrong with having candles burning. It's nothing wrong with potpourri and reed diffusers and all of those things, but not to cover up odor, to just accentuate what you already have, to put a nice aroma in the air. Sometimes aromatherapy is so important. Sometimes it treats your mood. I know sometimes I can't wait to get home and just light certain candles and look at my Netflix. I just, you know, but it's not to cover up funky odors. It is just, you know, to get the pleasure of the aroma. But make sure y'all are cleaning behind that. Okay. Because yes, dirty toilets are a thing. Now, even if you have a housekeeper come in, you know, every couple of days, one thing that I use on my bathrooms, I use Clorox foaming, what is it, bleach foam or foaming bleach, whatever it is, because a lot of times you don't really even have to do anything. Every 2 or 3 days, I spray it in my toilets and I just leave it be. And when you go back and flush your toilet, it's gonna be perfectly clean. So I will do that in between deep cleanings weekly, so that I don't ever get surprised by having a guest and there's a ring around the toilet. And it doesn't come from like anything bad. I guess it's like hard water or whatever, but still, that's not cute. Somebody come to your house and you got that little ring around the toilet water. Why? Just check your stuff out and make sure. So things like that, like small things hold odors. So like, and even your dishwasher, like make sure, guys, that you are doing like these little dishwasher cleanses. They have them at like Home Goods, little pellets or something you put in the garbage disposal, you put in the dishwasher. Make sure you're washing your microwave. Make sure your stove and your oven are clean. Pay attention to those things when you go to people's homes, because again, you have a clean person, they're not going to live in filth. They're not going to live in filth. And you have people who will just dress it up for you and just, you know, tighten it up and make it look cute because you coming over. You'll be able to see little traces of, you'll be able to see signs that, so just pay attention to just overall neatness. Now, I'm going to say, I'm a sloppy person. I'm going to come home, the shoes are coming off right there. And then I might wear something else the next day and I don't take the shoes upstairs. And then another pair is going to come. Sometimes I look and I got 3 pairs of shoes in my bag, but my house is clean. Now I'm gonna get, when I pick those 3 shoes up, everything is spotless. There's no dust, there's no dirt. Because we're grown. All right, so those are little clues to kind of pay attention to. Also, pay attention to people's behaviors. Even if you don't go into their home, pay attention to people's behaviors and pay attention to your own. So like washing your hands before meals. So if you go out to dinner with somebody, do they get up and say, oh, let me go and wash my hands? Or, you know, do they say, you got some hand sanitizer? But if the food comes and you ain't asked for no hand sanitizer, you ain't given no hand sanitizer, you haven't washed your hands, he haven't washed his hands, Well, y'all might be a good couple. But make sure that that person is washing their hands before meals. People who are clean are not going to put their hands in their mouth. They're not going to put their hands on a plate. They're not even going to go in the refrigerator without washing their hands. So that's a big deal. Pay attention to people's hand washing habits. Also, pay attention to whether people wash their hands when they come out of the bathroom. Even though people are at home, for some reason, sometimes people are at home, will go to the bathroom and won't wash their hands. What are you doing? So if, and even if it's a male peeing, wash your hands. What are you doing? I get that it's your penis. I get that it's your pee, but guess what? I don't want it on my glasses, my bar stools, my sofa. No. Wash your hands, please. Thanks. That's your excrement. I don't want it on my things. So that's that. Also, washing hands should be a kind of, they come from outside, they go to put the trash out, they come back in the house. Before they touch anything, did they wash their hands? All right. So that is a big one. Also pay attention to their nails. Their nails, are they dirty? Because one, if they have dirty nails, they're not washing their hands frequently. They're not getting their nails done. And I mean, just dirty nails should be a complete turn off, because again, and even when we think sexually, that person touching your genitals, honey, and whatever happens to be up under those fingernails, because God only knows. And then you can't figure out why you're itching, you're burning, it's swollen, you got the vaginitis. So dirty nails are a thing. And then one of the other things, and this is, again, this goes for women too, because even when y'all have these long fingernails, and are you cleaning them? Are you cleaning them appropriately? Are you using a nail brush? I know my nail tech, her and I worked together and created, what is it called? Damn it, I can't call what it's called. Bio something. Anyway, it's a nail cleanser, and so it cleans all the bacteria, staph, strep, anything that can be under your nails. It cleans it. So it comes with a little brush and whoop, 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 and it cleans all that bacteria from under your nails. So you ain't gotta worry about her making the greens or the macaroni and cheese at the family events. When you see this this biological nail cleanse, you ain't gotta worry about, is she cleaning her hands after she wiping her booty with all these nail. So, those things are important for you as well, women. So go to Sylvie's Nail Studio, and get it. And it's like a nail cleanser. It is that, girl. So, and again, I have itty bitty little short little nails, but I still will get up under here. Like I don't play about it. I still get up under there. And then also one of the biggest things, and this is controversial for women, because women, everybody has their preference, but trimming the pubic area. When it comes to a male, again, a male is going to be very cognizant of that. Maybe not, shaving or keeping it beautiful or whatever, but every now and again, he's going to grab a pair of scissors and, straighten up down there, because it's no reason for it to be looking like, Jurassic Park down there. So, that is something to pay attention to as well, because at the end of the day, you want, a lady to treat your man bits with kindness, but you got a whole bunch of weeds and, God only know you got pythons and garden snakes hiding up in there. Ain't nobody got time for that. And again, it holds odor, you sweat, males' balls get all sweaty and whatever it is they got going on down there. But so that is something to pay attention to too. And ladies too, even if you're going to decide to not shave or wax or laser remove your pubic hair, it's a personal choice, but keep it trimmed, keep it neat. Don't have it growing all wild. Don't have a whole afro, because why? Keep it trimmed and keep it neat. If you do decide to wax, and wax. If you decide to laser, do whatever it is you're gonna do. Now, if you are gonna shave, I don't know if you guys have heard me say this before, do not buy an expensive razor. Do not buy an expensive razor. Don't go get those $10, $12, $15 razors, because no. Okay, that's the wrong thing to do. If you're gonna shave, I need you to get the cheap razors, the Schick, the Bic, whatever they call, but the ones that are in the bags that are like 6 in a bag for like $2, right? $3. What you get the Walmart brand, whatever. But you want to get the little cheap disposable razor, and whatever you're gonna shave, your armpits, your stomach, your pubic area, your legs, shave everything at one, whatever, with that razor at that one time, and when you're done, throw it away. Don't be cheap. Throw it away. Based on how much were in the bag, that razor was 50 cents. Throw it away. Why? Because you used it, your skin has staph and strep on it naturally. You drag that razor all over your skin, all over your whole body. So what's on it? Staph and strep. What is the blade now? Relatively dull. So you cap that thing, you put it back on the shelf in your shower. What is it doing? It's growing. The bacteria is growing, growing, growing. You go to use it again and nick yourself, which you likely will because the razor is now dull. And then now you have that bacteria that can get into that nick and develop abscess and issues. So just don't even do it. The 50 cents ain't even worth the child. Shave everything and just be done, and throw that razor away and start anew with a new one. So those $10, $15 razors that you got to have more than one use out of, or clippers or anything, child, no. This is just the risk of infection and cutting yourself are just way too high. So do not do it, okay? Now, we're going to end this out with red flags. What red flags should you be looking for in a partner to really figure out whether they're clean? And we mean physically clean, we mean test clean, we mean STD clean, we mean clean. Do they have questions of you? Do they have questions of you? If you are with somebody and you are in a sexual relationship, they have never asked you questions like, so when last time you've been to the doctor? Oh, okay, what they test you for? Oh, okay, how many, you cannot have an open, honest conversation, male and female, about your person's status. You've been tested for HIV. Okay, you got the test results, because what they say and what you see are two totally different things, honey. Y'all know on the streets, my chart results are for sale on the streets. So if he's like, oh, here go my chart, baby, I need you to log in. I need you to log in. I don't want to see it. Log in. Okay. So yeah, you need to see these statuses. When's the last time you've been to the doctor? Oh, okay. Well, you got some, results, like something I can see, and you should be able to provide that to the person too. So if questions are off the table and they're not asking you any questions, that is definitely a red flag that they don't really, their well-being, they should have some questions. Have you ever seen them make a doctor's appointment? You've been in a relationship with somebody for 6 months, or a situationship, or whatever it is. They ain't never said, no, I got a doctor's appointment today, or no, I gotta go to the dentist, or no, I don't know, something bit me, I gotta go get this checked out. You've been with somebody for a period of time and you ain't never seen them get nothing checked out, never seen them make an appointment, never seen them go to the dentist. Red flag. Red flag. Because somebody within 6 months should have went somewhere to see somebody about something. Just saying. Okay. Now, this is one that, like I said, hit dogs do holler, but if your person, and this is male or female, if your person has cheated in the past, that's y'all business. It is not for me to judge, okay? But I do hold accountable, and that means if your person has cheated in the past and they cheated, and you know, not you assume, you know that they went raw with that person. That in and of itself is a red flag, and I can't tell nobody what to do, and I can't make nobody stand on any kind of business, but that you have to question how negotiable that is, because maybe you avoided getting an STD. You were blessed. Maybe you got an STD, but it was a treatable STD. You were blessed. But I tell people, just like it was gonorrhea, just like it was chlamydia, or just like it was trick, it could have very easily have been HIV. So my thing is, if you are not going to care about yourself and how you live and your own well-being, hey, baby, do you. But what you not gonna do is treat me that way and bring that back in to a relationship. But that is my personal perspective. But At the end of the day, that should really be a clincher. Not that you can't forgive somebody for cheating, but if that's your thing, but it's difficult to forgive somebody for putting your well-being at jeopardy at will for no good reason. Got a problem with that. All right, and then finally, the last one, and I made this the last one because I really want you guys to pay attention to this. If you have somebody that has persistent odor, that means you see them wash, you see them bathe, you see them shower, they get in there, they got the body wash, the Irish spray. Now, men can do this. Men can do the body wash. Sorry, they can. But males, I need y'all listening to this too. If you have a woman who, you see her bathe, you like, well, she clean, she do it, but she just still smell. Something ain't right. I think that these are conversations that we need to have, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about, because what it says is if you have somebody who has persistent odor, male and female, then likely there's a medical problem somewhere. There's a medical problem somewhere. Even if you have somebody like their breath always smell like doo-doo, that could be a bowel blockage, and that's what you smell coming back up. It could be anything with women. It could be vaginal infection. It could be a cervical infection. Again, you could have, if it's a breath thing, do you have an infection in your gums? Do you have gum disease? These things can be things that are easily treatable, but you have to suspect that you have them. Somebody else has to care enough to say, hey, listen, maybe you ought to get this checked out. So it's not always about, oh, you stink, you need to wash, you need to bathe. Sometimes it goes deeper than that. And remember, I did that video. If you don't remember, scroll back, on fishy odor syndrome, because it's a real thing. Like, that's a medical problem. That is not a vaginal issue. That is not a vaginitis issue. It is a real medical problem that's treated very interestingly, might I add, but it is literally called fishy odor syndrome. And a lot of people have it, didn't realize it was a thing, and have gone through years and years and years of isolation. So to know whether your partner is clean, you have to have a level of cleanliness yourself. And you have to kind of know what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, how can I say this? Don't judge people. Don't talk down to people, because you never know. An odor could be a medical condition that they're not aware of. An odor can be you speaking on it, can be you literally saving their life and saving their well-being. And so again, this was a very important video. Somebody asked, and if somebody asked, that means 10 or 15 or 20 people wanted and needed to know. So I hope you all gained something from this. I hope this was not offensive in any way to anybody, because that was not my intent. I hope there was no judgment taken, because that wasn't the intent. But again, I hope you guys learned something, and I hope it is male and female. Again, this is a unisex conversation, and I hope that this allows you to implement something into your lives, your dating lives, your family lives, that will help you and potentially somebody else. So this is Dr. Tasha, and thank you so much for joining again on Podcast Thursday.